Hi, I'm Deborah Baska, and I'm a 10-star diamond, 3-time elite coach with Team Beachbody. I live in Kansas City, and I have been married for almost 21 years, and I have 3 children, a senior in high school, a freshman in college, and a grown adult. I have been a coach for a little over 4 years, and before I was a coach, I worked in corporate America. And I worked there for 20 years, and I had worked my way up to a vice president position. I worked at the same company for 20 years. I had great vacation, I had good insurance, I had seniority, I had a good title, I had an office, I had a really great income. But the problem was that this job I'd never intended it to be my forever job. So I got it right out of college and just kind of fell into it, and it stuck. By the time I was approaching my 20-year anniversary, I was pretty disillusioned with corporate America. I was pretty unhappy with what I was doing. It was basically sucking the life out of me. And you know, when you spend hours, the majority of your hours at a certain place, which is your job, if you're not happy there, it can really affect every other part of your life. And that's where I was at. I was depressed. I was drinking too much. I was an unhappy, kind of hot mess of a person. So what happened was, fortunately, I found Beachbody, and I found it as a customer. And it came along at a time in my life when I was really, really wanting something different. The problem is, when you're in a career for 20 years and you're making good money and you have great benefits, you kind of get stuck. I looked ahead at the next 20 years of my life, and I saw more of the same. When I became a coach and started getting introduced to the business side of things, again, not really thinking this could ever replace my 6-figure income, I started doing a lot of personal development, which then started giving me more confidence. And that was really what was lacking in the place I was at in my life. Probably the best thing that could have happened to me was I ended up losing my job. So, it was quite traumatic when it happened, but actually I was really kind of happy about that, because what it takes to transition out of such a safe environment, a cushy situation, it takes getting really, really uncomfortable. And I had never been the kind of person that liked to be uncomfortable, to quite honest. I had the insurance for my family. I had, all the security of a paycheck every other week. And the thought of doing something different was really scary. I was 43 years old at the time. So when I had the rug ripped out from underneath of me, I kind of had my eyes opened up, and I realized, you know what, there's something else out there that I can do, and now is the time to go do it. And my motto has always been, it's never too late. It's never too late to be the person that you want to be the best that you can be, no matter what stage you are at in your life, whether you are overweight, whether you're a certain age, whether you're a single mother, whether you're going through a divorce, whether you've lost your job, whatever it is, whatever is your situation is, it's never too late to be the best that you can be. So like many other coaches, I started building my business while I was working my full-time job. And, that comes with its own set of challenges. And my biggest piece of advice is nobody has spare time. There is no coach that decided to be a coach because they just had oodles of spare time. And I know for me, Beachbody became one of the more fun parts of my day. So as I said, I was in kind of this rut of a job that was not positive. It was not a happy place for me to be. Beachbody was my happy place. It was fun. I could do it all on social media, and that's really one of the reasons why I felt that I could do this. It gave me the confidence because I thought, I don't have to leave my family. I don't have to go somewhere else to do this. I can do this from my home in my spare time, in the time that I allot for it. It's not taking away from anything else that I'm doing, any of my other priorities. I can still work my other job. In fact, I was traveling a lot, so I could actually work this while I was traveling. The other thing that I really had to overcome, especially after I became a full-time coach and made the decision not to go back to corporate America, was fearing what people thought. Because again, as a person of a certain age, you're mature, you have this illustrious career, you have a certain prestige about you. And now all of a sudden, you're telling the world, I'm not gonna go back to corporate America. I'm not gonna be a vice president anymore. Now, I can tell you that as time has gone on, I have completely developed more confidence about all that, because it doesn't matter what other people think about me. I know what is real, and I know that this is the right thing for me. It's not going to be for everybody, because not everybody's going to want to do what you need to do to be a full-time successful Beachbody coach. You have to have discipline. You have to be consistent. You have to be willing to share and put yourself out there and be vulnerable. I'm an introvert as well, and so for me, talking to people face to face isn't my preference. In fact, if I had to do a job where it was required that I get on the phone, or I talk face to face, or I have parties at my house or gatherings and host booths and events, I would not do that. I would go back to corporate America before I would do something like that. My biggest message is that Beachbody can be that thing that you never knew you always wanted to do when you grew up. I know that if this opportunity hadn't been presented to me, I would be in a completely different place in my life. Basically, my husband and I are retired. But the nice thing about it is we are still earning a full-time, better than we could ever have imagined income. So we're living the life that we always wanted to live someday. We're living it now while we're still young. I mean, we are still young, 47 and 56. And you know what? Being a Beachbody coach, I think, keeps you really young, because my husband, he completely reversed his health. He lost 50 pounds. I mean, he had high cholesterol and diabetes, and he thought he was on the downside of life. And now he is just as energetic and as athletic as a person half his age. The best part about being a coach is the freedom of time. I'm now volunteering at a pet shelter. That's something I always wanted to do, but I didn't think I had the time. I didn't want to take time away from my family, and now I'm doing that. I can do that during the day. I can do it whenever I want. I have 5 tips that I want to share with you in regards to marketing to your niche. And my niche is 30s to 50s, women predominantly. And I can tell you, number one, it's important that you be you. And it's very easy as a new coach to look around at what other coaches are doing, and you respect so much what they're doing that you want to do the same thing. You can learn from other coaches, you can take parts of that, but always make it be you. My second tip is hope and positivity. It's never too late to be your best. We need to be our very best self at whatever age we are, at whatever we have going on in our lives. Number 3, you must lead by example. You need to show people, again, that you can get up and get it done. No matter what age you are, no matter how old your kids are, how young your kids are, no matter how busy you are with your job and all the other things you have going on in your life, you have to lead by example, which means you get up and you work out and you drink your Shakeology and you eat right. My 4th tip is always be curious. You need to always find out more about someone before you start telling them what you have to share, what you have to know, what you have for them to learn about. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. And so my best advice, and this again goes for just about anybody, is always lead with a question. So when I first start talking to somebody, when they want more information, I will typically ask them what they're looking for. What are their goals? What interests them about this? But be curious about others, because building that relationship will be the most valuable thing that you can do to build your business. And finally, my 5th tip is you have to be real. And what I mean by that is, we are what we are. You know, I'm 47 years old. I've had 2 C-sections. I don't have the skin or the body or the belly of a 21-year-old. But that's okay, because I'm not 21. I have the skin and the body and the belly of myself at 47, doing the best I can do to be the best that I can be. So be real. People want to see that, yes, you have these things going on in your life that are great. But you don't want your life to be picture perfect, right? Because it's not. That's not real. So be real. You'll see lots of pictures of me without makeup and, sweaty and not at my best. But you're also going to see pictures of me when I get dressed up and when I put on my makeup. And, I will share struggles that I'm going through, but I will always share at the end of the day a message of positive hope. So those are my tips on how to market to the niche that is in the middle age, women, men, whatever it may be. But like I said, be you, be an inspiration. Let people know it's never, ever too late to be the very best that they can be. Good luck.